Om.
Hariom.
Thank you for coming. I'd like to ask you a few questions. The first is you all have practiced yoga before also. When you came to ashram, just a little comparison and how was your yoga experience here?
For me, it was a much more overall experience of yoga. So in the past, I would typically just go to an asana class, and that's what I think most people think of as yoga. Whereas here, we the ashram offer us the whole experience of understanding and deepening our awareness of yoga.
Okay.
For me, I think one of the things that really stayed in my mind those days is the fact that while you're doing asanas, you shouldn't push yourself and you shouldn't try too hard to do something and not compete with yourself, rather than just relax and try to get to be in every position in a way that you get all the effects. And also, I was practicing a lot of dynamic yoga before coming here, so a lot of vinyasa. But here we practiced hatha, and we kept the positions for much longer. So I thought that I really got an effect out of that, and saw the difference.
Was there any dynamic movements here involved?
There was a lot of dynamic, but there was also a lot of steady and comfortable, which is the point of yoga. And yeah, and also the lifestyle, I would say, was the best part of my experience here.
For me, I'm from the United States, and there's many different studios I've gone to with their each strengths. Some, focused on one branch, another branch. And so here, I knew, reading that I would be learning more about ashtanga and hatha, but that didn't mean much to me. And experiencing it has given me a whole other frame of mind about what yoga actually is. And just like they said, it's not just the positions, it's not just that 90-minute class you go to, but it's the entire definition of yoga, the other stuff in your lifestyle that we're allowed to practice here first, so that we can bring it back to our countries and teach it. And you can actually get more in 90 minutes than just some workouts and flexibility for your muscles. We're learning how to focus our mind, focus our breath, find balance, and I wouldn't have said any of that other stuff really was relevant in my classes back home. More so it would have been, oh yeah, I achieved headstand today. That's what I'd be happy about back home. And here is, today I reached a new level of patience with myself. And I'm excited to bring that back to other people.
Interesting.
Hello, I'm from the Netherlands, and for me back home yoga was already important part of my life, but it was more of going to asana class, and mostly I did vinyasa, the dynamic style, and I was reading a lot of books, so getting into it. But to be here and to be a whole month in India in ashram, this is so different. You learn so much. Well, I learned so much more about the whole yogic lifestyle, and it's much more than asanas and meditation. It's just the whole package. And actually, also during the asana classes, I got much more aware of my body. While before I was maybe more focused on, oh, I'm not so flexible, and I can't reach that level. And now I think, well, it's not important, and yeah, that's really good.
Hariom. I'm Padma from Pune, and I've never done asanas before. As far as practicing yoga is concerned, I just practice kundalini yoga, which is kriya yoga. So I was really worried, how I'm going to do this 2 hours or 4 hours asanas every day. But the way it started here, from preparing your body, preparatory movements, and then slowly, gradually in the fourth week you're doing advanced asanas also. So that's the fantastic part of this course. I mean, you never feel that okay, my body is not fit for this. It's just comfort. Whatever body structure you have, they just make you feel that steady and comfort is what is asanas. So that's the best part of this course, and I'm very happy. And it's not just asanas, it's as if I'm doing 5-6 different courses in just 1 month along with the asanas course. So that's the best thing, like practicing silence, sattvic food is there, pranayam is there, yoga nidra is there. So it's amazing. Great.
Hi, my name is Marcio. I'm from Portugal, and I'm very happy. So I come to Yogapoint to try organize all the information that I already have, and to have an experience. And I don't create too much expectations, but I have some ideas that they happen here, and I experienced the lifestyle, yogic lifestyle, and it made me understand that it's only possible if we don't live with attachments, and so now I'm more prepared to take important decisions in my life, and so we will see. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. I am Jitendra Pandey from Allahabad. Here is very easy way to how to learn yoga and how to teach, how to very sequence wise, very easy and sequence wise, and how to live in yogic lifestyle. Here is very easy way how to live in yogic life. Here is climate is very good. Nature is almost very clear, clean, and also yoga teacher is very good.
Hari Om. My name is Venkat. I'm from Hyderabad. I just came for the teacher training program here in Yogapoint, and this has been an extraordinary experience for me. I probably consider this 1 month would be a life-changing experience for me for the rest of my life. Yeah, I just want to be more excited to see where this is going to take me in my near future. Thank you.
Now, I'd just like to ask you guys about the daily schedule here in the ashram, what we call as the traditional yogic lifestyle, how you live. So, what is your experience about it?
For me, I think daily lifestyle is fantastic. Probably the hardest part of it is getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But besides that, if that's the hardest thing that you have to do is get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's not really much of a challenge. But I think besides that is you have your food is cooked for you. You work together as a unit for doing karma yoga, so everything is clean together. The food is cooked for you. You don't have to cook food. But the food is amazing. It's absolutely delicious. It's a little difficult coming from a Western point of view, from having pizzas and hamburgers and things like that. Coming to India and eating Indian food, dals and curries and chapati and rice. But it's something that the body can overcome. Like your senses, your taste buds do change, and you end up leaving here craving this food. But it can be an easy lifestyle here, but also it can be challenging sometimes. But I think I think if you're ready for it, it will be a very, very enjoyable experience.
I was quite nervous about the 5 a.m. get-ups because typically I can sleep a long time. It's my forte, so I was a bit worried about that. But actually, I quickly adapted, and I think it's easy for anyone to adapt to it. It just means going to bed earlier, so you still get your allotted hours sleep. For me, the food was incredible, and I'm type 1 diabetic, so it was really interesting to notice how level my blood sugars were this month. It just goes to show. I mean, I wasn't unhealthy before, but clearly the sattvic diet is just another level of healthiness. It's delicious as well, no one complained, but I also had trouble. Maybe the food was so good that I was cleansing a lot of the time, so my digestive system was overworked, and I occasionally had to skip certain classes for personal time with the toilet. So that was a challenge for me, just because I never wanted to miss anything. But you just have to be patient with your body. That's the main thing. I really enjoyed karma yoga, just seeing everyone working together, being outside, gardening, planting the food that we then can produce for the next students, that previous students have planted for us. The whole experience has just been overwhelmingly exceptional. I've loved it, and I'm sad to leave.
You?
Yeah, for me, the life at the ashram was also something very, very pleasant. I really enjoyed it. The fact that you live in the nature, you breathe so much fresh air, your lungs clean, we garden outside in the sun, and we plant vegetables that we then get to eat. And the daily schedule was also really nicely organized. The 5 a.m. is hard, but then if you sleep at 9, it's great because you get all the hours of sleep you need, and it's actually the times that your body needs to sleep and not your mind, which is, I don't know, from 1 to 1. So the food, it was the best thing I could possibly ask for. But the thing is that you have to be prepared, and you have to want you have to want to eat this kind of food. You have to want to eat healthy. Even in our day offs, I wasn't craving to go to the city and eat chocolate because I prefer eating healthy. So if you want to be healthy, yeah, that's the best environment you can possibly be. And of course, you have to study and you have to be there at your classes, but you never feel like there's pressure on you. You never feel like you have to rush to do your assignments or you have to rush to do your essays. You have time and everyone is there to help you, so everything is really flowy and nice in the ashram. Yeah.
Anything that really is not helpful?
I mean, we could use some internet for our essays, but then, just for our essays. But you don't need that because no one is asking you to do a deep research about something very specific. So with the resources that we have here, we can easily do our assignments and essays. And what else is challenging? I can't think of a challenging thing. I think if you want to live in this kind of environment, it's great. If you don't want to live in this kind of environment, then you won't enjoy it. But yeah, it depends on how much you want to be in nature, eat healthy, and be, I don't know, in a place where you don't have to worry about things of the outside world. So if you're prepared, it's really good.
For me, I guess comparing from what I read online about Yogapoint to coming here, I was really pleasantly surprised about the overall atmosphere of the ashram, because in the West the word ashram kind of has a lot of connotations, but maybe one of the most popular would be just a very like holy and strict and regimented and internal kind of atmosphere, which I will say is available here for anyone who does want to have a very introspective time. It's completely easy to do that. Days of silence are as frequent as days of talking, should you choose to do that. But I thought it might be forced on us a little bit more. I thought there might be more forced silence, more forced studying, and I don't know, probably memorizing of Sanskrit and harder things that I was like nervous about, but kind of ready to take on that challenge. And then a whole new set of challenges are here, but kind of like they said, they're challenges that never felt stressful. I think I told someone back home that I don't think I can physically walk faster than like a grandma here. It just doesn't seem right to hurry. So like you hear the bell that tells you lecture's happening, and I mean the ashram's pretty, small as far as the building, so like in 1 minute I'll be walking there. So like whether it was raining or it was sunny, we enjoyed the weather, we enjoyed being outside. We came during the end of monsoon season, which I am so grateful for, because right now everything is green, everything is growing. The fruit plantations, like all the bananas, the papayas, they're blooming every day, and we helped plant tomatoes, which will soon be growing for the next group. It's just my haven. I love nature. I love to be outside, and so rain and sun have equal beauty here, if people are worried about that. And I guess the only recommendation for future students considering this would be to come with an open mind and open to the idea that you do have a schedule dictated to you. So it's not just an Indian vacation, and it's not just a yoga retreat. It's not a place where we do yoga practice, the Western version of yoga practice, not just asanas, not just a lot of sun salutations. We're not just here to get strong and flexible, like 4 hours a day of, improving my body. That's very much not the point. The point is a teacher training, so that's what we're prepared to do. They gave us the tools by teaching us how to control our own bodies and our own mind. They're giving us these tools, and by living in an ashram, we get to put these tools into practice so that hopefully we can bring it back home. So this specific setting, I think, is the best place to learn how to become a true yoga teacher.
I really enjoyed this month in the ashram. I really enjoyed the ashram life. I feel so healthy and clear now in my mind. And actually all this time when I was here, I really lived in the present moment. Only till yesterday when the first people left, I started to think, oh my god, it's the finishing of the month. The getting up at 5 o'clock wasn't really bothering me that much, because I thought we would go to bed early anyway. But I was more worried about, how can I manage without breakfast for 4 hours? I get up at 5 and have my breakfast at 9, because normally at home I wake up quite hungry and I just need my breakfast right away. But now, and so the first few days I was a bit hungry, but actually I think now it's more a thing of my mind, and I can deal with it, I can control it. And I also really enjoyed eating in silence. It was actually, I haven't done that before, and now I really tasted the food, and it was so nice. I could reflect a bit on the day, because the schedule is quite intense and you learn so much here, and you also practice yoga 4 hours a day. So there is, and in the night I was quite tired, so there is not so much time actually to reflect on it. So that's why I really liked the silent meals. And also on the day off, I really enjoy to stay at the ashram, just walk around. It's beautiful in here, and I really enjoyed the karma yoga. To work all together, and yeah, the gardening, to be outside. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it.
Anything that you did not enjoy?
Um, yeah, no, well, maybe what I said, maybe sometimes I thought, oh, I was getting tired. It was quite intense schedule, but so I could have sometimes a bit my dips, but it was actually more in the first week, I think, and then I got used to it, and I only was looking forward to more lectures, more yoga asanas, and yeah, don't sleep too much.
Anything that you want to see changed here?
That's a hard one because I don't know, because I really enjoyed it, and it was also, it's so different than my life back home. So I think, and I think that will be for most of the people who come here to the yoga teacher training, that it's just a whole different life, and I think you learn a lot from that, to get more self-discipline, and yeah, to study, and also just be around with people from the other students. No, not real suggestions.
I agree.
Can say something in Portuguese.
Para aqueles que estão a ouvir agora, para todos os portugueses, este é uma excelente oportunidade, um excelente sítio para se viver uma experiência de transformação pessoal, porque começa por ser uma batalha entre nós próprios, porque nós deixamos o nosso país, os nossos hábitos, o nosso subconsciente formatado, digamos assim, programado, e chegamos aqui e existe uma mudança drástica de hábitos e faz com que haja, de uma certa forma, uma turbulência dentro de nós, mas pouco e pouco, dia a dia, começa por ser mais fácil de aceitar, porque começa a fazer parte de nós e da nossa vida, e é fácil de observar que a simplicidade faz com que nós estejamos focados no presente, e no final de tudo, no final do curso, no final da experiência, está tudo bem. Resta-nos saber como é que será o dia da manhã, porque todos esses hábitos foram quebrados do passado, e acho que é uma boa experiência para toda a gente, viver para mudar. Ariom.
Hariom, thank you. Just a last question. Do you feel confident enough to teach with the knowledge that you have got? Because in 1 month it is impossible to say that you have learned the whole of yoga. It's a journey of lifetime. So 1 month is hardly anything. Do you feel that you can teach with the way you have learned here?
Absolutely. I feel that the tools that have been presented to me have been more than adequate for me to carry on and learn and teach yoga in the future. When I came here, I was, curious to know, how I would feel at the end of this month. In regards of would I feel capable to become a teacher, but I feel that I know so much. I've learnt so much in this realm that I honestly feel well and truly prepared for anything that is thrown at me in teaching worlds. the course curriculum is very detailed in regards to what it teaches you. So specifically when it comes to dealing with injuries or people with certain lack of mobility or things that aren't quite, you know, their forte. And it really goes into a lot of detail about how to do things and how to avoid this or how to avoid that. But not only does it just cover that, the asana aspect, but even in the holistic lifestyle, the lifestyle where it's taking in the yamas and the yamas, the, you know, the sattvic diet and things like this. Things that if you were to learn this, you know, yoga, if you were to learn this back home in Australia, it would just be like asanas. This is the sun salutation, this is how you do it, this is, you know, the pose, this is how you do it. And there would be no real breakdown of this is why we do it, this is where it originates from, this is the Sanskrit word of it, and this is, as you can see. So I definitely feel that I have more than enough tools to take me straight from here, straight into a teaching position.
By the second week of the course, we started micro lessons. So we were split into groups of 5, and we'd each take it in turns to lead just a small section of a class. And this was really helpful for each of us to manage just to teach one bit of a class. And then by doing that every day, the confidence would just build and build, so that when we had our trial lesson where we'd teach for an hour, we all felt prepared. But admittedly, I was very nervous about that one, and I didn't feel myself. But from the feedback that I got from my friends and the teachers, I was able to then feel really confident about the final exam, which is what essentially we're here for, to be qualified teachers. So not only were the lessons preparing us, but being thrown in the deep end, well, not deep, shallow end, and then gradually swimming into the deep. It was perfect, and now I feel really ready to go home and share my knowledge and continue to learn about yoga.
Thank you.
I think in 1 month you can't possibly be the teacher that you want to be and dream to be, but I feel that we got all those tools that we need to be able to teach the things that we have learned here, and we have all the principles on, for example, how to teach and how to study to become have a better knowledge of what you're doing. So I think you get all the tools and all those different subjects, and then if you really want to be a teacher, you have to build up and study a lot, and also teach the moment you leave here. Teach, because this is how you're going to become a teacher, not just by doing the training, but actually applying all those things you have learned. And you can start by teaching small things, and then as you learn, your students will also learn, and that will make you actually a teacher. So yeah, I think you can't learn how to be a teacher in a month. You just need to apply it when you go back home.
Yeah, that reminds me exactly of what we discussed last night during our graduation ceremony, which was really informal. They called our certificates pieces of paper because essentially that's what it is. We did an entire course, but a piece of paper doesn't really represent it. It's like what Eleni said, we're not a teacher until we have students. And that really inspired me. That really hit home to me that, yes, I personally grew. I learned about myself. I learned about people from other cultures. I learned about India. I learned about ashram. I learned about yoga. But I can't really count myself a teacher until I share that knowledge forward and forward and forward. And that's how yoga got to me. And if I want yoga to continue, I need to also continue it. that being said, I agree. I feel like we've been given the perfect tools and we've built confidence through the practice, through the micro lessons and through the final exam. Confidence is definitely there. Mind you, there's still doubts. I think they're just personal weaknesses we have in our minds, like, oh, my body's still not perfect to do those difficult positions, or I still don't know all the words of all these poses in Sanskrit. Oh, my students might be more knowledgeable than me. They might have practiced really difficult asanas that I won't even ever have seen. But if you look back onto what yoga means and what its purpose is, the purpose is not to have an ideal posture or to have an ideal body. It's to have a balance of your mind and body. And I guess my last thing that I would say is I love one lecturer pointed out to us that what bonds people isn't like the good times or, you know, me as a teacher coming around and saying, good job, good headstand, good pose. You know, that's not really the connection that lasts, but it's like through weaknesses and limitations and through recognizing your students' weaknesses and limitations, being transparent about my own weaknesses and limitations, that's what's going to really bond a student and teacher. And that trust and that bond is what's going to be able to be the perfect elements to grow the real meaning of yoga. So my doubts about my own body and my own ability to do certain positions and my own lack of understanding of all of yoga, like, I'm okay with it because since I have limitations, I'll be able to teach others with limitations. I think that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has been said already, and I agree. Actually, I came here not really with the idea to become a teacher. I did it for myself, and I wanted to learn much more about yoga, and I wanted to learn it in a traditional way and experience it live in ashram in India. But actually, with the final exam, I really enjoyed the teaching, and yeah, it really gave me confidence. So it just changed my mind, and I thought, well, maybe if I go home, I want to at least give it a try and just start small, and yeah, and I think it's just the beginning for me. I've got so many. They give you so many tools, and I've learned so much. But yeah, I have the feeling I'm the start point, and I can whole my life learn more. Got me really inspired.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of you. And I
Thank
hope to
you.
see you
Thank
back
you.
again. Huh?
Yeah.
We hope to
Yeah.
Okay, see you. See you, Ro. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.